So today we are doing a water pump on a 2003 Honda Accord. No, we are not. We are doing a thermostat. I am an idiot. So, my roommate, this is his car, said that the temperature gauge on his dashboard was going all the way up to hot. I at first told him to check the reservoir. At the time, it was full. Now it's obviously very low. Less than minimum. It's like all the way down there. It's a 0.5. So the thermostat is this thing right here. This is the housing. The actual thermostat is in there. So see, these bolts are actually pretty nice. Like, the threads are nice and clean. This top part I'm gonna clean off, I think. It's like a brush or something. Let me put this in my little cart as well. Remember that I have these little swivel socket things. This, when you put the socket on, keeps it a little loose, so you have a little more wiggle room. Once again, this one's pretty clean as well. Not too bad, just the head is a little, rusty. Let's see. Oof, don't want to get coolant on this car. This looks kind of new, but it's definitely bad. Yeah. Alright guys, so Doesn't look like it, but I did wire brush all these, clean up the threads a little bit. We got the new thermostat here. I'm not gonna lie, the other thermostat low-key looks brand new, just 30, but the seal on it was low-key broken, and a part of the piston here was like really scratched up. But yeah, we're gonna put this back in, and then I got some blue coolant, which is what's supposed to be in here, but this was filled with red. Don't know why, but it was. Alright guys, so we got it back in there. New thermostat with the housing. Hose, I gotta put the clamp back on, but that's not that big a deal. Just to make sure I did it right, I filled the reservoir with water. There was no leaks. However, I am an idiot. So as I'm filling it here, I completely forgot to put the cap of the... I forgot to screw this back in, which is what like drains the fluid. So it was leaking out the bottom, so I wasted a little bit of coolant. But I filled up the reservoir. I took out all the red coolant, cleaned it out with some water, filled it with some nice, clean blue coolant, and now I'm filling up the radiator. And I will keep you guys posted as to whether or not this worked. I think your car's fine. I will say though, it does have a completely busted axle on the passenger side. Because I also noticed his power steering is, well, I mean, I filled it now, but his power steering was very low, and he did complain of power steering issues, but I'll let you guys know what happens in the end. Alright guys, so pretty much fixed. No more leaking from what I can see. The smoke is just the excess coolant that I spilled. And I'm just running a little diagnostic scan to make sure everything's alright. One thing I am concerned about is the radiator fans aren't kicking on, but we'll figure that out. So it is now October 8th. His car is not overheating. However, that day, because this video was filmed about a month ago, the next day actually, turns out the car was still overheating. Not only was the thermostat bad, but the housing the thermostat goes into was bad. So I spent about 7.5 hours lifting the car up. I had to jack up the engine, take out one of the mounts. In the most tight spot ever, remove just 3 bolts, remove the whole housing with the thermostat, with the hose, with everything. There's also 2 hoses on top of the housing that needed to come out. Put in the new one, torqued everything down to spec, put all the hoses back in, put the new thermostat in, put the lower radiator hose in, put in more coolant, and it worked till the next day it didn't. It overheated again, and then I figured out that, I just needed to kick his heat on and burp it. Did that, and still wasn't working, and I realized his heat was also broken, so I also figured out that his heater core is clogged. We still haven't done a flush of that, which I'm planning on. And then for a little bit, his car was honestly working fine. It would just get really hot, but it wouldn't overheat. It would stick up like 3/4 of the way, and then one day, once again, overheated. So what did we do? I went with him to AutoZone. I pressure tested his system just to see if there was coolant leaking. No leaks. I pressure tested the cap. The cap wasn't good. The cap was not holding pressure. So we went and bought a cap, put the cap on, and somehow it fixed it. Right now, there's no overheating. However, his radiator fans still do not work. So what I think the problem is maybe his temperature sensor switch, which plugs in at the bottom of the radiator, which senses the temperature of the coolant, isn't working, or it's broken, and it's not allowing the fans to kick on. Because his fans work when the AC is on, but they don't kick on when it reaches operating temperature, which it's supposed to. So hopefully we can get that fixed. I'm gonna do that axle as well that I showed you. I'm gonna post a video about that. Hopefully I can convince him to also get the temperature sensor switch as well. And if that doesn't fix it, then his fans are bad, and he'll probably just need a new radiator at that point because, I'm already there. Might as well take them both out and replace them. But hopefully, this car is mint. As the great Steinfab Garage has once said, if you squint, it's mint. Thank you guys for